Imagine yourself basking in the sun on a beautiful island, with nothing but the sound of waves crashing against the shore and seagulls crying in the sky. The heat is intense, and you can feel your skin tanning as you lay back and close your eyes. Suddenly, a scream pierces the air and you sit up, startled. This is the setting for Agatha Christie's novel Evil Under the Sun, where a peaceful vacation turns into a murder investigation. The story takes place on Lethercombe Bay, an idyllic island off the coast of Devon, England. The island is home to the Sanders Hotel, a luxurious getaway for the wealthy and famous. Among the guests are a retired theater actress, a playboy, a young couple on their honeymoon, and a middle-aged couple with their daughter. It's the perfect setting for a murder mystery, and Christie uses the isolated location to her advantage, creating a sense of claustrophobia and unease as the story unfolds. At the heart of the novel is Hercule Poirot, Christie's famous detective. He's on vacation when he stumbles upon the murder, and he can't help but get involved. Poirot is a fascinating character, meticulous, intelligent, and with a keen eye for detail. He's also incredibly eccentric, which makes him both entertaining and infuriating to those around him. The victim in Evil Under the Sun is Arlena Stewart Marshall, a beautiful actress who is staying at the Sanders Hotel with her husband and stepdaughter. Arlena is a complex character. She's charming and manipulative, and she has a habit of getting what she wants, no matter the cost. She's having an affair with the playboy, which adds another layer of intrigue to the story. The murder itself is a masterclass in plotting. Christie uses multiple suspects, red herrings, and surprising twists to keep readers guessing until the very end. The investigation is just as fascinating as the murder, with Poirot using his unique methods to uncover the truth. He interviews each of the guests, examining their alibis and motives, and slowly but surely he begins to piece together what happened. One of the things that makes Evil Under the Sun so compelling is its exploration of themes such as jealousy, power, and deception. Arlena's beauty and charm make her a target for envy, and her manipulative behavior only adds fuel to the fire. The other guests are all hiding secrets, which creates a sense of unease and suspicion throughout the novel. Christie uses these themes to great effect, weaving them into the story in a way that feels natural and believable. Another strength of Evil Under the Sun is its depiction of character dynamics. The guests at the Sanders Hotel are all from different walks of life, and they each have their own agendas and motivations. Christie does an excellent job of portraying these dynamics, showing how the characters interact with each other and how their relationships evolve over the course of the story. In conclusion, Evil Under the Sun is a classic Agatha Christie novel that combines a compelling plot, intriguing characters, and thought-provoking themes to create an unforgettable reading experience. The isolated setting and luxurious atmosphere of the Sanders Hotel add to the story's allure, making it a perfect summer read. Whether you're a fan of murder mysteries or just looking for a good book to escape into, Evil Under the Sun is definitely worth checking out. Hello there! I hope you enjoyed the last section and are ready for a deeper dive into Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun. Before we get started, let me give you some background on the author and this classic mystery novel. Agatha Christie is one of the most famous crime writers in history, having published 66 detective novels, 14 short story collections, and 15 plays. She's best known for her characters Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple, but Evil Under the Sun features the former. Christie was a master of plot twists, misdirection, and clever clues, making her stories both entertaining and challenging to solve. Now, let's talk about Evil Under the Sun. The story takes place at the Sanders Hotel, an exclusive resort on a secluded island off the coast of Devon, England. Hercule Poirot is enjoying a well-deserved vacation when he stumbles upon a murder. A famous actress, Arlena Stewart Marshall, is found strangled on the beach, and it's up to Poirot to solve the case. What makes this novel stand out is its unique setting and luxurious atmosphere. The Sanders Hotel is a character in itself, with its beautiful gardens, private beaches, and opulent rooms. Christie brilliantly uses the isolated location to create tension and suspense as the guests are trapped on the island with a killer. The characters in Evil Under the Sun are another highlight. Each guest has their own secrets and motivations, making it difficult for Poirot to identify the culprit. Arlena Stewart Marshall, the victim, is a complex character, beautiful, manipulative, and selfish. Her husband Kenneth is a gentle and loving man, while their daughter Linda is a troubled teenager struggling with her mother's infidelity. Other guests include Patrick Redfern, a charming young man who catches Arlena's eye, his wife Christine, a plain and timid woman, Major Barry, a retired military officer, Rosamund Darnley, Arlena's childhood friend, and Emily Brewster, the hotel manager. Each character has a role to play in the story, and Poirot must unravel their connections to Arlena and her murder. The themes in Evil Under the Sun are classic Agatha Christie. She explores the darker side of human nature, revealing how greed, jealousy, and revenge can drive people to commit heinous acts. The novel also touches on the idea of justice, as Poirot must decide whether to bring the killer to trial or let them go free. As for my analysis, I believe that Evil Under the Sun is a masterclass in plotting and character development. Christie skillfully weaves together multiple storylines, creating a complex web of intrigue that keeps readers guessing until the very end. She also does an excellent job of making each character distinct and memorable, using their personalities and actions to reveal their true natures. In conclusion, Evil Under the Sun is a classic Agatha Christie mystery that combines a luxurious setting, intriguing characters, and clever plot twists to create an unforgettable reading experience. Whether you're a fan of murder mysteries or just looking for a good book to escape into, Evil Under the Sun is definitely worth checking out. Thank you for joining me on this journey through one of Agatha Christie's most beloved novels. I hope you enjoy reading it as much as I enjoy talking about it. Evil Under the Sun is a classic whodunit novel set in a picturesque resort on a small island off the coast of Devon, England. The story takes place in the 1930s, a time when travel and leisure were becoming more accessible to the middle class and seaside resorts were all the rage. Agatha Christie masterfully uses this setting to create an atmosphere of relaxation and intrigue, as her characters bask in the sun and sea while hiding dark secrets. The novel's main character is Hercule Poirot, the famous Belgian detective known for his little gray cells and immaculate mustache. Poirot is on vacation at the Jolly Roger Beach Resort when he stumbles upon a murder investigation. As usual, he can't help but get involved, much to the chagrin of the local police. The victim is Arlena Stewart Marshall, a beautiful and successful actress who is vacationing with her husband, Kenneth, and stepdaughter, Linda. Arlena is portrayed as a manipulative and selfish woman who uses her charm and beauty to get what she wants, causing tension and resentment among the other guests at the resort. One of the most interesting characters in the novel is Patrick Redfern, a handsome young man who is vacationing with his wife, Christine. Patrick is having an affair with Arlena, and his guilt and fear are palpable throughout the story. Christine, on the other hand, is portrayed as a quiet and reserved woman who seems to be content with her husband's infidelity, at least on the surface. Another notable character is Rosamund Darnley, an old friend of Kenneth Marshall's who has also been invited to the resort. Rosamund has feelings for Kenneth, and she is jealous of Arlena's hold over him. She is a complex character, torn between her love for Kenneth and her disapproval of his wife. The setting of the Jolly Roger Beach Resort plays a significant role in the novel. The secluded location and small group of guests create a claustrophobic atmosphere that heightens the tension and suspicion among the characters. The resort's owner, Mr. and Mrs. Gardner, are also intriguing characters who add to the mystery. One of the most striking themes in Evil Under the Sun is the idea of appearances versus reality. Many of the characters in the novel are not what they seem, and their true motives and personalities are slowly revealed as the story unfolds. Agatha Christie uses this theme to keep the reader guessing until the very end, as she expertly weaves together clues and red herrings to create a complex web of intrigue. In conclusion, Evil Under the Sun is a classic Agatha Christie novel that takes place in a beautiful seaside resort. The main characters include Hercule Poirot, Arlena Stewart Marshall, Patrick Redfern, Rosamund Darnley, and several others who all have their secrets and motivations. The theme of appearances versus reality is woven throughout the story, adding to the intrigue and suspense. Overall, it's a captivating and entertaining read that will keep you guessing until the very end. Hello there! I hope you're enjoying our summary of Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun. In this section, we'll delve into the plot summary of this delightful mystery novel. The story begins with Hercule Poirot, Christie's famous Belgian detective, on vacation at the Jolly Roger Beach Resort in Devon, England. He meets a variety of colorful characters, including the glamorous and flirtatious Arlena Stewart Marshall, her new husband, Captain Kenneth Marshall, and their stepdaughter, Linda. Arlena is a former actress who left her previous husband, Patrick Redfern, to marry Kenneth. Patrick and his new wife, Rosamund Darnley, are also at the resort. It becomes clear that Arlena's beauty and charm have won her many admirers, and she seems to relish in the attention. The theme of appearances versus reality is woven throughout the story. For example, despite her glamorous exterior, Arlena is revealed to be a deeply unhappy and troubled woman. She feels trapped in her marriage to Kenneth, and longs for freedom. Meanwhile, Patrick Redfern appears to be happily married to Rosamund, but he still harbors feelings for his ex-wife. As the story unfolds, tensions rise between Arlena and several other characters. She has a particularly contentious relationship with her stepdaughter, Linda, who resents her for stealing her father's attention. Arlena also clashes with Emily Barton, the owner of the Jolly Roger, who is jealous of Arlena's popularity among the guests. The turning point comes when Arlena is found strangled on a secluded beach. Poirot springs into action, using his keen observations and deductive reasoning to unravel the mystery. He interviews all of the suspects, including Kenneth Marshall, who initially appears to be devastated by his wife's death but later reveals himself to be relieved. As Poirot delves deeper into the case, he discovers a web of secrets and motivations among the characters. For example, Patrick Redfern is revealed to have been having an affair with Arlena, while Rosamund Darnley is shown to be fiercely jealous of her husband's ex-wife. Poirot eventually uncovers the truth. It was Linda Marshall who killed Arlena, driven by a deep-seated resentment and desire for revenge. The novel concludes with Poirot confronting Linda and explaining the evidence that led him to her conclusion. Overall, Evil Under the Sun is a captivating and entertaining read that will keep you guessing until the very end. Christie's masterful storytelling and keen understanding of human nature make for a compelling mystery that explores themes of appearances versus reality, jealousy, and revenge. So there you have it, a plot summary of Evil Under the Sun by Agatha Christie. I hope this has piqued your interest in this classic mystery novel. Thanks for listening. Hello there. So, we've reached the part of our summary where we dive into one of the most intriguing characters in Evil Under the Sun, Arlena Stewart. This woman is a real force to be reckoned with, and her arrival at the Jolly Roger Hotel sets the stage for a lot of the drama that unfolds throughout the novel. First, let's talk about who Arlena Stewart is. She's an actress, known for her roles in films and on the stage. But she's also a woman who enjoys the finer things in life, which is why she's vacationing at the Jolly Roger Hotel on Smuggler's Island. Arlena is described as being very attractive, with long blonde hair and a figure that turns heads wherever she goes. She's used to being the center of attention, and she knows how to use her looks and charm to get what she wants. But there's more to Arlena than meets the eye. Beneath her glamorous exterior, she's a complex and conflicted character. On the one hand, she enjoys the attention and adoration that comes with being a successful actress. But on the other hand, she resents the fact that people only seem to value her for her looks and not for who she really is. This inner turmoil makes her a fascinating character to watch, as she struggles to reconcile her public persona with her private self. Now, let's talk about Arlena's arrival at the Jolly Roger Hotel. When she first arrives, she immediately draws the attention of everyone in the hotel, including our detective Hercule Poirot. He notes that she is a woman who would always make an impression, and he can sense that there is something troubled beneath her confident exterior. Arlena's arrival also sets off a series of events that will ultimately lead to the novel's central mystery. Almost as soon as she arrives, she begins to clash with some of the other guests at the hotel. In particular, she butts heads with Patrick Redfern, who is vacationing with his wife Christine. It's clear from the beginning that there is some tension between Arlena and Patrick, and this will eventually lead to a tragic turn of events. But for now, Arlena seems blissfully unaware of the drama she's causing. She spends her days lounging by the pool, sipping cocktails, and flirting with the hotel staff. She's the very picture of a carefree vacationer, but there are hints that all is not as it seems. For one thing, Arlena seems to be hiding something. She's evasive when asked about her past, and she's always looking over her shoulder, as if expecting someone to catch up with her. As the novel progresses, we learn more about Arlena's backstory and the events that have led her to the Jolly Roger Hotel. We also see how her presence affects the other guests at the hotel, particularly Patrick Redfern. It's clear that there is a deep-seated animosity between them, and it's only a matter of time before their conflict comes to a head. In conclusion, Arlena Stewart is a fascinating character who adds a layer of complexity to evil under the sun. Her arrival at the Jolly Roger Hotel sets off a chain of events that will ultimately lead to the novel's central mystery, and her presence is felt throughout the book. Whether you love her or hate her, there's no denying that Arlena Stewart is a force to be reckoned with, and her story is one that will keep you hooked until the very end. Hello there! I'm so glad you're joining me for this section of our audiobook summary at Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun. In this part, we'll delve into the key events that lead up to the novel's central mystery, the murder of Arlena Stewart. As a quick recap from the previous section, Arlena is a captivating and enigmatic figure who has arrived at the Jolly Roger Hotel on Leathercombe Bay with her husband, Kenneth Marshall, and stepdaughter, Linda. The Marshalls are on vacation, but Arlena is also there to star in a play directed by her former lover, Patrick Redfern. One of the first significant events that set the stage for the murder is the arrival of three important characters, Emily Barton, Rosamund Darnley, and Stephen Lane. Emily is an old friend of Arlena's from their school days, while Rosamund is a former flame of Patrick's. Stephen, on the other hand, is a young and handsome artist who has caught Linda's eye. These newcomers shake up the dynamics at the Jolly Roger Hotel, particularly in regards to Arlena's relationships with Emily and Patrick. Emily had always been envious of Arlena's beauty and charm, while Rosamund still harbors feelings for Patrick. Meanwhile, Stephen provides a distraction for Linda, who is infatuated with him. Another key event that sets the plot in motion is a series of anonymous letters that begin to circulate around the hotel. These letters accuse Arlena of having an affair with Patrick and threaten to expose her. The letters create tension and mistrust among the guests, particularly between Kenneth and Arlena. The day before the murder, there are several significant moments that hint at the impending doom. First, Arlena is seen arguing with Kenneth on the beach, suggesting that their marriage is on the rocks. Later, she has a confrontation with Emily, who accuses her of stealing Patrick away from her. Meanwhile, Rosamund discovers that Arlena and Patrick are still having an affair, and she confronts them both. In response, Arlena mockingly tells Rosamund that she should have known better than to get involved with a man like Patrick. Finally, on the day of the murder, Arlena goes for a swim in the bay and is later found strangled on the beach. The entire hotel is thrown into chaos as everyone becomes a suspect. Now, let's analyze these events more closely. It's clear that Arlena is a complex character with many enemies. Her beauty and charm have won her admirers, but they have also earned her jealousy and resentment from others. The anonymous letters suggest that someone has a personal grudge against her, and the confrontations on the day of the murder indicate that tensions have been building for some time. Additionally, the arrival of Emily, Rosamund, and Stephen adds another layer to the plot. Each of these characters has a connection to Arlena, and their presence at the Jolly Roger Hotel creates new dynamics and relationships that contribute to the overall tension. Finally, the setting of Leathercombe Bay itself plays an important role in the story. The isolated location and small community of hotel guests create a claustrophobic atmosphere where everyone is suspect. The bay itself becomes a symbol of both beauty and danger, as the peaceful waters hide the dark secret of Arlena's murder. Overall, these key events set the stage for a gripping and suspenseful mystery that will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end. Join me in the next section as we explore the investigation into Arlena's murder and the ultimate reveal of the killer. Sure thing! Here's my section on the discovery of Arlena's body and the ensuing investigation. Well, we've reached the moment we've all been waiting for, the discovery of Arlena Stewart's lifeless body. The scene is set on the beautiful Jolly Roger Beach, where Arlena had planned to meet her secret lover, but instead she meets her untimely end, as an unidentified assailant strangles her with a length of rope. The first person to discover Arlena's body is none other than our beloved detective Hercule Poirot. He stumbles upon the grisly sight while taking his morning constitutional along the beach. As he approaches the body, he notices that Arlena's face is contorted into a grotesque expression of terror and agony. It's clear that she died a violent and painful death. Poirot quickly summons the local police and sets about investigating the murder. The first order of business is to question all of the guests at the hotel where Arlena was staying, as well as the hotel staff. Among the guests are Arlena's estranged husband, Kenneth, and her teenage daughter, Linda. Both of them had motives for wanting Arlena dead, Kenneth because he was tired of his wife's infidelity, and Linda because she resented her mother for abandoning her to pursue a career on the stage. As Poirot interviews each suspect, we learn more about their relationships with Arlena and their possible motives for wanting her dead. We meet Patrick Redfern, a handsome young man who was having an affair with Arlena, his wife Christine, who was devastated by the news of Arlena's death, Major Barry, a retired army officer who had a heated argument with Arlena just hours before she was killed, and Rosamund Darnley, a former actress who was jealous of Arlena's success on the stage. As Poirot delves deeper into the case, he begins to uncover a tangled web of secrets and lies. He discovers that several of the guests at the hotel had been involved in an elaborate charade, pretending to be someone they were not. For example, Patrick Redfern was not really a young man on holiday. He was actually a married man who had come to the hotel with his wife Christine under false names. As Poirot sifts through this complex web of deception, he begins to zero in on the true culprit. But before he can reveal the killer's identity, there is one final twist that leaves everyone reeling. It turns out that Arlena's murder was not a crime of passion or greed, it was something much darker and more insidious. In the end, Poirot manages to unravel the mystery and expose the true killer. The motive for the murder is revealed to be a shocking and twisted one, involving jealousy, betrayal, and a dark secret that had been buried for years. Throughout the investigation, Agatha Christie expertly weaves together a complex and intricate plot, filled with red herrings, false leads, and unexpected twists and turns. The characters are richly drawn and full of depth, making it easy for the reader to become fully immersed in their world. Overall, the discovery of Arlena's body and the ensuing investigation is a masterful example of Christie's storytelling prowess. She manages to keep the reader guessing until the very end, expertly building tension and suspense as the investigation unfolds. It's a thrilling and satisfying conclusion to a gripping and suspenseful mystery. Sure thing. Here's my section on Hercule Poirot's involvement, clues, and revelations in Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun. As with many of Agatha Christie's novels, the iconic detective Hercule Poirot plays a central role in Evil Under the Sun. The story begins with Poirot on vacation at the Jolly Roger Coast Hotel, where he is approached by the hotel owner, Mrs. Gardner, who asks him to investigate a series of thefts that have been occurring at the hotel. Poirot agrees and begins his investigation, but things take a dramatic turn when the famous actress Arlena Stewart is found murdered on the beach. Poirot quickly becomes involved in the case and sets out to uncover the truth behind her death. One of the most interesting aspects of Poirot's involvement in Evil Under the Sun is his use of clues and deduction to solve the mystery. Throughout the novel, Christie sprinkles subtle hints and clues that Poirot picks up on and uses to piece together what happened on the fateful day of Arlena's murder. For example, early in the investigation, Poirot notices a pair of footprints near the scene of the crime that do not match any of the guests at the hotel. This leads him to suspect that there may be an outsider involved in the murder. Later, when questioning the hotel staff, Poirot learns that Arlena had been having an affair with one of the guests, Patrick Redfern. He also discovers that she had a habit of taking long walks on the beach alone, which could have given her killer the opportunity to strike without being seen. As Poirot continues his investigation, he uncovers a web of secrets and lies surrounding Arlena and those closest to her. Her husband, Kenneth, was deeply in debt and had been contemplating divorce. Her stepdaughter, Linda, despised her and openly expressed her hatred, and Patrick Redfern, Arlena's lover, had a wife who was dangerously jealous of their affair. Despite the many suspects and motives, Poirot is able to use his keen observational skills and powers of deduction to uncover the truth behind Arlena's murder. In a dramatic reveal at the end of the novel, he gathers all of the suspects together and reveals the identity of the killer in a classic Christie twist. What I find particularly fascinating about Poirot's role in Evil Under the Sun is how he approaches the investigation. Unlike some detectives who rely on brute force or intimidation to get results, Poirot relies on his intellect and powers of observation to uncover the truth. He treats every clue and piece of information as a puzzle to be solved, carefully fitting them together until he has a complete picture. Furthermore, Christie's use of clues and red herrings throughout the novel adds an extra layer of complexity to the story. While some clues are obvious, others are more subtle and require careful reading to pick up on. This makes the final reveal all the more satisfying, as Poirot pieces together the various clues and reveals the true culprit. Overall, Hercule Poirot's involvement in Evil Under the Sun is a masterclass in detective work and storytelling. Through subtle clues, deduction, and a keen understanding of human nature, Poirot is able to unravel the mystery behind Arlena Stewart's murder and bring the killer to justice. It's a thrilling and satisfying conclusion to a gripping and suspenseful novel. Absolutely, I'd be happy to delve into the resolution and surprising ending of Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun. So, as we left off, Poirot has been investigating the murder of Arlena Stewart, a beautiful and successful actress who was found strangled on the beach during a holiday at the Jolly Roger Hotel. The hotel's guests, all of whom had some connection to Arlena, were suspects in her murder. Throughout the novel, Poirot gathers clues and interviews the suspects, gradually piecing together the puzzle of what happened on the fateful day of Arlena's death. The resolution of the mystery comes when Poirot gathers all of the guests in the hotel lounge and reveals the identity of the killer. The murderer turns out to be none other than Patrick Redfern, Arlena's husband. Poirot explains that he was able to deduce this by noticing several key details. First, that Patrick had been seen purchasing a large quantity of rope similar to the one used to strangle Arlena. Second, that he had been acting strangely on the day of the murder, disappearing for long periods of time and later being discovered with sand on his shoes. And third, that he had lied about his alibi, claiming to have been playing golf when in fact he had been with Arlena. But what's even more surprising is the motive behind the murder. As it turns out, Patrick was not only Arlena's husband, but also her half-brother. The two had been having an incestuous affair, and when Arlena threatened to leave him for another man, Patrick killed her in a fit of rage. This revelation is shocking not only because of the taboo nature of the relationship between Arlena and Patrick, but also because it challenges our expectations of what a murderer should look like. Throughout the novel, Poirot encourages us to consider the suspect's motivations and alibis, leading us to believe that the killer will be someone who appears suspicious or out of place. But in the end, the killer is the person we least expected, a seemingly ordinary husband and brother. This theme of challenging our expectations is woven throughout the novel, as Christie plays with our perceptions of the characters and their relationships. For example, we are initially led to believe that Arlena is a manipulative and scheming woman, but as we learn more about her, we see that she is also vulnerable and lonely. Similarly, Patrick, who at first appears to be a mild-mannered and harmless husband, turns out to be capable of great cruelty and violence. Overall, Evil Under the Sun is a masterful work of detective fiction that keeps us guessing until the very end. With its intricate plotting, complex characters, and surprising twists, it's no wonder that Agatha Christie is considered one of the greatest mystery writers of all time. Evil Under the Sun is a rich and layered novel that explores several significant themes. One of the most prominent themes in the book is the idea of deception and facades. Many of the characters in the novel are not who they seem to be, and they go to great lengths to hide their true selves from the world. This theme is reflected in the setting of the Jolly Roger Hotel, where everything is carefully curated to create a sense of paradise and luxury. However, as we soon discover, this idyllic setting is merely a facade that hides the dark secrets and hidden motives of the guests. Another important theme in Evil Under the Sun is the corrupting influence of wealth and privilege. The wealthy guests at the Jolly Roger Hotel are used to getting what they want, and they are willing to go to great lengths to protect their interests. This theme is embodied in the character of Patrick Redfern, who is revealed to be a gold digger intent on marrying for money. The novel suggests that wealth and privilege can create a sense of entitlement and a disregard for the consequences of one's actions. The novel also explores the theme of jealousy and obsession. Many of the characters in the book are driven by intense emotions, such as love, hate, and desire. This is reflected in the character of Arlena Stewart, who is described as a beautiful and seductive woman who has a profound effect on those around her. Her beauty and charm inspire both admiration and envy in the other guests at the hotel, and it is ultimately this jealousy that leads to her untimely death. One of the most interesting aspects of Evil Under the Sun is its use of symbolism. The beach, for example, is a recurring symbol throughout the novel. It represents both beauty and danger, as it is the place where Arlena's body is discovered. The sun is also an important symbol in the book, representing both life and death. The novel suggests that while the sun can bring light and warmth, it can also burn and destroy. In terms of critical analysis, Evil Under the Sun is a masterful work of detective fiction that showcases Agatha Christie's skill as a storyteller. The novel's intricate plotting and complex characters keep readers guessing until the very end, and the surprising twists and turns are sure to leave readers satisfied. Additionally, the novel's exploration of themes such as deception, wealth, privilege, jealousy, and obsession adds depth and complexity to the story, making it a rich and rewarding read. One of the things that sets Evil Under the Sun apart from other detective novels is its use of humor. The novel is filled with witty dialogue and humorous situations, which provide a welcome contrast to the darker themes of the book. This balance between light and dark adds to the overall enjoyment of the novel and makes it a pleasure to read. In conclusion, Evil Under the Sun is a masterful work of detective fiction that explores important themes such as deception, wealth, privilege, jealousy, and obsession. The novel's use of symbolism, witty dialogue, and humorous situations adds depth and complexity to the story, making it a rich and rewarding read. Agatha Christie's skill as a storyteller is on full display in this novel, which keeps readers guessing until the very end. Whether you are a fan of detective fiction or simply looking for a great book to read, Evil Under the Sun is sure to delight and entertain. Absolutely. One of the most striking aspects of Evil Under the Sun is how Agatha Christie masterfully explores themes such as jealousy, vanity, and deception. The novel is set in a luxurious hotel on a picturesque island where a group of guests are enjoying their holidays under the bright sun. However, beneath this facade of relaxation and enjoyment, there lies a web of secrets, rivalries, and hidden motives. Jealousy is one of the central themes in the novel, and it is evident from the outset that many of the characters are consumed by envy and desire. For instance, the wealthy businessman Sir Horace Blatt is jealous of the success of his former partner, Mr. Raphael, who he believes has stolen his ideas and made a fortune. Meanwhile, Arlena Stewart, the beautiful actress who becomes the victim of the crime, is envied by many for her beauty, talent, and success. Christie uses these characters to illustrate how jealousy can consume individuals, leading them to make destructive decisions that ultimately lead to tragedy. Vanity is another theme that runs throughout the novel. The characters in Evil Under the Sun are obsessed with their appearance and social status, often going to great lengths to maintain their reputations and impress others. For example, Arlena Stewart's beauty and charm make her the center of attention wherever she goes. But they also create tension and resentment among those around her who feel threatened by her presence. Similarly, the hotel owner, Hercule Poirot, is a vain man who takes great pride in his appearance and his reputation as a detective. Christie uses these characters to demonstrate how vanity can blind people to reality and lead them to make poor decisions. Deception is also a major theme in Evil Under the Sun, with many of the characters engaging in acts of deception and manipulation. For instance, Arlena Stewart's husband, Kenneth Marshall, is having an affair with another woman, while pretending to be devoted to his wife. Meanwhile, Arlena herself is hiding a secret from her past that could ruin her reputation if it were to be revealed. Christie uses these instances of deception to highlight the complex and often duplicitous nature of human relationships, showing how people will go to great lengths to hide their true selves from others. What is particularly impressive about Evil Under the Sun is how Agatha Christie weaves these themes together to create a compelling and suspenseful story. By exploring the darker aspects of human nature, she creates a sense of tension and unease that keeps readers guessing until the very end. The novel's characters are richly drawn and multidimensional, each with their own unique motivations and desires. This makes it all the more satisfying when Poirot finally unravels the mystery and exposes the truths behind the crime. In conclusion, Evil Under the Sun is a masterful exploration of themes such as jealousy, vanity, and deception. Through her expert storytelling and keen insight into human nature, Agatha Christie creates a rich and rewarding reading experience that keeps readers engaged until the very end. Whether you are a fan of detective fiction or simply looking for a great book to read, Evil Under the Sun is sure to delight and entertain. Now, let's delve into the fascinating storytelling techniques that Agatha Christie employs in Evil Under the Sun, particularly her use of humor. Christie is a master of weaving subtle humor into her narratives, often through the character of Hercule Poirot. In this novel, his eccentricities and vanity are on full display, providing moments of levity amidst the unfolding drama. For instance, Poirot's obsession with his appearance and his meticulous morning routine, including the application of exactly 44 brushstrokes to his magnificent mustache, is both amusing and endearing. Moreover, Christie uses humor to highlight the absurdities of the upper-class society she often depicts. The shallow concerns and petty squabbles among the guests at the Jolly Garland Hotel are satirized effectively, creating a stark contrast with the seriousness of the murder investigation. This serves to underscore the detective's role as an outsider, immune to the superficial charms and pretensions of this world. Another technique Christie uses is misdirection. She leads readers down various paths, only to reveal at the end that she has been leading them astray all along. This is done through subtle clues, red herrings, and unexpected twists. The humor here lies in the satisfaction of having been outsmarted by the author, yet still feeling entertained rather than cheated. Christie's use of dialogue is also noteworthy. She employs witty banter and clever wordplay to reveal character traits, advance the plot, and inject humor. The conversations between Poirot and the other characters are often laden with double meanings and hidden implications, adding depth and intrigue to the narrative. However, Christie never lets humor overshadow the gravity of the situation or the intellectual challenge she presents to her readers. The murder investigation is always at the forefront, and the humor serves to enhance rather than detract from this central focus. In Evil Under the Sun, Agatha Christie demonstrates her mastery of storytelling techniques, using humor to enrich the narrative, reveal character traits, and provide moments of relief in a tense plot. Her ability to balance these elements is a testament to her skill as a writer and contributes significantly to the enduring appeal of her work. In conclusion, Agatha Christie's use of humor in Evil Under the Sun is a brilliant example of how this device can be used effectively in storytelling. By injecting humor into her narrative, she creates a more engaging and enjoyable reading experience, while still maintaining the intellectual rigor and suspense that are hallmarks of her work. Whether you're a fan of detective fiction or simply looking for a well-written book, Evil Under the Sun is sure to delight and entertain. In Evil Under the Sun, Agatha Christie masterfully crafts a web of relationships and character dynamics that add depth and intrigue to her already captivating mystery. The story takes place at the Jolly Roger, a hotel on Smuggler's Island in Devon, where a diverse group of guests has gathered for their holidays. Among them are famous actress Arlena Stewart-Marshall and her husband, Kenneth, their daughter Linda, Arlena's former lover, Patrick Redfern, and his plain but kind wife, Christine. The character development in Evil Under the Sun is subtle yet powerful. Agatha Christie skillfully portrays the complexities of human nature through her characters' interactions, revealing their desires, fears, and vulnerabilities. The tension between Arlena and Patrick Redfern is palpable from the start, as they struggle to hide their past affair while being forced into close proximity at the hotel. Meanwhile, Christine Redfern's quiet acceptance of her husband's infidelity exposes her insecurities and desperate need for love and validation. Kenneth Marshall, Arlena's husband, is a gentle, self-effacing man who seems oblivious to his wife's manipulations and cruelty. His devotion to Arlena, despite her obvious disregard for his feelings, highlights the destructive power of unrequited love and the human capacity for forgiveness. The novel also features Hercule Poirot, Christie's iconic Belgian detective, who serves as both an observer and a catalyst in the unfolding drama. As he mingles with the guests at the Jolly Roger, Poirot subtly influences their actions and decisions, ultimately setting the stage for the story's climactic revelations. Throughout Evil Under the Sun, Christie explores themes of jealousy, betrayal, and revenge, using the characters' relationships to heighten the suspense and intrigue of her plot. As the various guests become entangled in a web of secrets and lies, the stage is set for a dramatic confrontation that will leave readers on the edge of their seats. One particularly striking example of Christie's skill at character development can be seen in the evolution of Linda Marshall, Arlena's teenage daughter. Initially portrayed as a petulant and selfish young girl, Linda gradually emerges as a more sympathetic figure as the story unfolds. Her growing awareness of her mother's true nature and the painful realization that she has been complicit in Arlena's cruelty toward others serve as a poignant reminder of the complexities of family dynamics and the importance of self-awareness. In Evil Under the Sun, Agatha Christie demonstrates her uncanny ability to delve into the depths of human nature, revealing the secrets, desires, and fears that drive her characters' actions. By weaving a rich tapestry of relationships and character dynamics, she creates an engaging and thought-provoking mystery that is sure to captivate and enthrall readers. Whether you are a fan of classic detective fiction or simply seeking a well-crafted and intelligent read, Evil Under the Sun offers a delightful and satisfying literary experience that will linger in your mind long after you've turned the final page. Evil Under the Sun, a novel by the legendary Agatha Christie, is a remarkable work of detective fiction that not only provides an engaging and suspenseful plot, but also offers valuable insights into human nature and societal norms of its time. Published in 1941, this book was written during a period when the world was grappling with the horrors of World War II, yet it manages to transport readers to a serene and idyllic setting, providing them with a much-needed escape from the harsh realities of life. Set in a luxurious hotel on a secluded island off the coast of Devon, Evil Under the Sun is a tale of murder, deceit, and jealousy. The novel's protagonist, Hercule Poirot, is a renowned Belgian detective who has retired to the English countryside. He is invited to the hotel by an old acquaintance, and upon arrival, he finds himself in the midst of a group of strangers, each with their own secrets and hidden motives. One of the most striking aspects of Evil Under the Sun is its historical context, which provides readers with a glimpse into the societal norms and values of the time. The novel's characters represent different classes and backgrounds, from the wealthy hotel owner to the working-class artist. Through these characters, Christie explores themes such as class conflict, gender roles, and social expectations, making the novel not just an entertaining murder mystery, but also a thought-provoking commentary on society. For instance, the character of Arlena Stewart, the beautiful and seductive actress who becomes the victim of the murder, challenges traditional gender roles and societal norms. She is portrayed as a strong and independent woman, unapologetic about her sexuality and her desire for freedom. This portrayal would have been considered radical at the time, making Arlena a fascinating and complex character. Similarly, Christie's depiction of Hercule Poirot, a foreigner who is often met with suspicion and prejudice, highlights the xenophobia prevalent during this period. Despite his intelligence and expertise, Poirot faces discrimination simply because of his Belgian heritage. This portrayal serves as a reminder of the dangers of prejudice and discrimination, themes that are still relevant today. But what makes Evil Under the Sun truly enduring is its timeless appeal. The novel's intricate plot, filled with twists and turns, keeps readers on the edge of their seats, guessing until the very end. Christie's masterful storytelling and her ability to create complex and relatable characters ensure that the novel remains fresh and engaging even after multiple readings. Moreover, the novel's setting, a secluded island paradise, adds to its timeless appeal. The idyllic setting, with its sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, and lush gardens, provides a stark contrast to the darkness of the murder plot. This contrast serves to heighten the suspense and tension, making the novel even more captivating. In conclusion, Evil Under the Sun is not just a classic detective novel, but also a reflection of its time, offering valuable insights into human nature and societal norms. Its enduring appeal lies in its masterful storytelling, intricate plot, and complex characters, making it a must-read for fans of detective fiction and anyone seeking an intelligent and satisfying read. Whether you are exploring the historical context or simply enjoying the suspenseful plot, Evil Under the Sun is sure to captivate and enthrall readers, providing them with a delightful and memorable literary experience. Evil Under the Sun is a true gem in Agatha Christie's collection of detective fiction. When compared to other works by the author, it stands out for its intricate plot and well-developed characters. While Christie's other novels often focus on a single suspect or murderer, Evil Under the Sun features multiple layers of deception and a diverse cast of characters, each with their own secrets and motivations. One of the most notable aspects of Evil Under the Sun is its setting. The novel takes place at the luxurious Jolly Roger Hotel on Smuggler's Beach, where a group of guests are enjoying their summer vacation. This idyllic setting is in stark contrast to the dark and twisted events that unfold, creating a sense of unease and tension throughout the novel. Christie masterfully uses the beach as a backdrop for the crime, highlighting the theme of appearances being deceiving. The main character, Hercule Poirot, is also a standout in Evil Under the Sun. Unlike in some of Christie's other novels, where Poirot can come across as arrogant or overbearing, in this novel he is more subdued and introspective. This allows for a deeper exploration of his thought process and detective skills, making him a more relatable and engaging character. Another strength of Evil Under the Sun is its exploration of themes such as jealousy, greed, and revenge. These themes are woven seamlessly into the plot, adding depth and complexity to the characters and their actions. The novel also touches on the historical context of the time period, including the role of women in society and the class divide. In terms of its place in Christie's oeuvre, Evil Under the Sun is a prime example of her ability to craft a suspenseful and engaging detective story. It showcases her skill at creating well-developed characters and intricate plots, making it a must-read for any fan of the genre. In conclusion, Evil Under the Sun is a standout among Agatha Christie's works and an essential read for fans of detective fiction. Its intricate plot, well-developed characters, and exploration of themes such as jealousy, greed, and revenge make it a captivating and memorable literary experience. Whether you are delving into the historical context or simply enjoying the suspenseful plot, this novel is sure to provide an intelligent and satisfying read. So, if you're looking for a classic detective story with a twist, pick up a copy of Evil Under the Sun and get ready to be enthralled by Agatha Christie's masterful storytelling.